Hi guys, I thought I'd do a podcast today. I think I'm going to do a podcast like every 2 months. So the January and February one, and upload it start of March, and then do one for March and April. So every 2 months I'm going to do a podcast. So I have like a little notebook with some notes in. It's like a spreadsheet for both the months. And basically I'm just going to talk finished objects, whips, what I want to cast on in the next 2 months, and what I bought. So I'm going to start with finished objects. The first is my baby Ingrid, which I knit for my nephew. I don't have it on me because I've already gifted it, but I will put a little picture of what it looks like. I knit that in this yarn, which is I can't pronounce the company, but it's Sistrine Green or something like that. This is a 70% wool, 30% bamboo blend, and this is in the shade Camel. I knit the 3 to 6 months, and I bought 3 skeins, and this is how much, and they come in 50-gram balls, and this is how much I have of one skein left. So this is just in my scrap yarn bag because I don't know what to do with this much left. So I'm going to make like a scrappy project at the end of the day. And so yeah, the pattern, I've got an Ingrid for myself. I love it. And so it was super easy to just knit a baby Ingrid because it's pretty much the same. I also have a like knitting vlog of finishing that up, so you can watch that if you want to. Baby knit, it was my first baby knit, and they're quite easy, they're quite fun to knit. I obviously take months to knit at a time. I don't know why, but so it ended up taking me months to knit. But I think my next baby knit will come off my needles a lot quicker because I'm trying to reduce the time I take in between for knitting a project now. I'm trying to reduce that time. So yeah, that was finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 was my ranunculus, which I do have on hand. It's a bit creased. This is the size 3, and I'm pretty sure it's the wide neck. But once again, I also have a video on this. I waited so long to finish it that I don't remember if it is the wide neck or not. This was made in brushed alpaca silk in the beige colour. I don't know how much I used, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. Ranunculus, I have 2 of these now, including this one. I love the pattern. I didn't really get the hype of the pattern, but then I knit one and I was like, I want more. So I knit myself another one. As I said, this took me months because I am that type of knitter that just takes the long gaps in between knitting. But yeah, this was super easy. I love the I don't really do like designs in my patterns, but this was like, I love the little like lacy pattern in it. I think it's really nice. And the next time I knit a ranunculus, I do want to knit one with the longer sleeves. I don't know what yarn I'm thinking of, but I do want to knit one in the longer sleeve. My next finished project, which technically isn't finished because I haven't weaved in any of the ends, is a Camisole No. 9. Once again, this was on my needles for months, and yeah, I used Koken. I have the label somewhere. Yeah, I used Koken 100% superwash merino, in the shade Moon. I've picked up 2 skeins. The Camisole No.9 I have also knitted before. I alter mine quite a bit. So I knit the smallest size. I don't add any of the underarm cast on stitches because I like mine to be super tight. So yeah, I also decreased the length. This has been blocked, so it is a lot more longer. When I knit it to like there. But yeah, this has grown out quite a bit with blocking because it wasn't this baggy. But yeah, I knit this in the smallest size, and I like this yarn. It is a bit more expensive for a fingering weight, but it was, I treated myself because Camisole No.9 was a pattern I had been waiting for ages. So I was like, I'm gonna get a fancy yarn. And so yeah, this was a bit expensive for what it was, but I don't mind because it's actually a super lovely yarn. I really enjoyed working with it. I don't know if I'd get it again because I do really like the Drops Sport Weight Merino, and I think that would just work as well as this. But yeah, that was my 3rd finished project of the month. And then my 4th one is super exciting. Once again, ends are not weaved in, but these have both been blocked. So like all of these have been blocked. So this is a little top that I self-drafted. So I made the pattern myself. I have done this a couple times in the past, but this obviously, well, you don't know that, but this was the one that has challenged me the most. Considering it's my most recent one, you can expect that. Like, you tend to get more and more challenged as you work on new things. So yeah, this was, I had to like do swatches, do measurements, everything, like figure out like what kind of shoulder I wanted, what kind of like neckline I wanted, stuff like that. So this is in Whole Scarn, super soft in slate grey. I have so much of this yarn, so yeah. The thing is with this, I saw a dress online, and instead of making the dress first, I wanted to do a top version, just to get the top dimensions right. So yeah, I had to, so the construction is, I basically knit the back until I got to like there, and then I picked up on the shoulder and knit down to the front, and then I connected it in the round, so like you would do with a lot of drop shot, like petite knit constructions for like the Ingrid and the Sonia, stuff like that. So yeah, and then I also, like, I've done short row shaping before, but I've never had to figure out my own short row shaping. So that was because I knit the sleeves about 7 times, because when I was knitting it, I wasn't adding short rows, so it just went straight out. And because this is, the thing is with this, why it was, I think, a lot more difficult, is because I wanted it close to skin. I didn't want it baggy, so I had to get like the dimensions like perfect. And so it was just going straight out, and then when I was wearing it, there was a bunch of just extra fabric under the armpit, so I had to figure out how to do short rows myself, like the measurements and stuff. The neckline also, I saw the dress and it had like a, I think it's a scoop neck, and so I had to figure that out. And the ribbing for this is heavily inspired by the Cami No.9. It is the Cami No.9 ribbon, I mean like edging, so I did the exact same thing, but every other edge is 1x1 ribbon. And yeah, I really like this. This is obviously just, it goes just above my elbow, and it's just, I think, a cute little top for winter. Like, it will keep me warm in the winter, even though we're getting out of that now. But yeah, so I have that completed and I'm super happy about it. And then whips. My main whip right now is the Levitate Wrap, because that's the next video that I'm filming for. So the Cami No.9 and the self-drafted top I have a video for that I'm editing that's going to come out next Wednesday. But the project I'm working on now, which, can you believe it fits in this little bag, is my Levitate wrap. So I'll get it out of this bag just to show you. So right now, I've done the back and I've done one of the front sections, and I am on the second front section. I'm also knitting this in the smallest size, and I'm knitting it in one strand of Drops Puna in the dark grey. This is 100% alpaca and it's a DK weight. And then I'm also holding it with one strand of that super soft in the slate grey, because as I said, I have a lot of it. So I'm trying to hold it together with things now to just like get rid of it. But yeah, my history with the Levitate wrap is a bit crazy, but I think I've finally got the vision right, what I wanted come to life. Because so when the pattern first came out, I didn't buy it but I really wanted it, but I waited. And then I finally got the pattern, and as soon as I got the pattern, I casted it on with 2 strands of the Holst Super Soft in the slate grey, because I just wanted to use it up. And then the thing is, with the Levitate wrap, it looks so fluffy and it looks so soft, and that's what I wanted for mine. But the 2 strands of slate grey just wasn't working for me. Like, of the Super Soft just wasn't working for me. Like, I didn't look like how I wanted it to look. So I was like, I'm not gonna work on this anymore. Like, I feel like I won't wear it. So I stopped. And then I picked up some Drops Puna. I've never used it before, but I really like alpaca, so I was like, we'll pick it up, we'll try it. And I am so happy I made that choice, because I am loving the fabric. Like, it's got a halo, a little bit of one, but I feel like it does just look a bit more fluffy and nice, and exactly how I envisioned my Levitate wrap to be. But yeah, that's my first whip. I'm hoping to get it done this month. This is the project I'm working on the most, so yeah. Next whip is the Ripple Camisole by, I've not really said by who any of these are by. So the Ingrid Baby Petite Knit, the Ranunculus is Midori Heroes, Camisole number 9, My Favourite Things Knitwear, Levitate Wrap, also My Favourite Things Knitwear, the Ripple Camisole Jessie Made Designs. I'm knitting this in the smallest size. I'm knitting it with Holst Gone Highland sock yarn, but this was the hand dyed by Charlotte Spagner collection, the Autumn Beauty 2022. This was on sale, so I got 5 balls of these, and I have one of her pairs of shorts, and I had a skein left over, so I thought I'd make the Ripple Camisole. And I've knit it in the smallest size because I know this yarn grows quite a bit when you block it. So yeah, I've knit up the body of it. I'm just on the like cup section. So yeah, this will not take me that long. I've been knitting this in my uni classes because I get quite bored. So I've been using this as like my travel project to just knit while in uni. And I think I'll get this done by the end of this week. I'm not documenting this one because it kind of was just a filler project and I wanted to use up the yarn, even though I definitely will still have some left over, which is quite annoying because I wanted it done. But I didn't want to make the body any longer because I don't know, I just didn't. So yeah, that is my second whip. My third whip that I want to get done is my Sonia sweater. This is also in the smallest size, but I am quite a loose knitter and I don't gauge swatch if I'm knitting patterns because I know it will never come out too small, it will just come out too big. And with an oversized jumper, I don't really mind it coming out massive. This is knit in Drops Merino Extra Fine in the shade Taupe. I was originally knitting a sweater number 15 in this, but I felt like this is a DK and it's a squishy, soft, true to size DK, and I feel like for the sweater number 15, even in the smallest size, it was that squishy and soft that I felt like when the cables blocked out, it would have been absolutely massive. So I frogged it and started knitting this. As you can see, there's only a collar and a sleeve left, and it is going to be part of the Whipastrophe series. It's going to be one of my next projects. I was enjoying the process. Obviously it's been off my needles because I've been trying to finish some earlier projects, but I can't wait to get it done because I love oversized sweaters, and I think this yarn, I've used it for a pair of pants, and so yeah, I can't wait to have it in a jumper. But yeah, that is my Sonia sweater. And then I have quite a special sweater. This is a step-by-step sweater the Sonia sweater is a petite knit pattern, obviously. This is quite a special pattern. This is, yeah, a step-by-step sweater handmade by Florence, which is a free pattern by her, and she also has a free like video tutorial. I already have a step-by-step sweater in some Drops yarn, in Drops Baby Merino and then Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk. But I went on a trip to Italy last October and I picked up some really special yarn, some like hand dyed, I think it's Italian yarn. Yeah, step-by-step sweater in the second size. So I went to Italy and I bought yarn, obviously. So I don't know, but I think I bought 2 skeins of this mohair, and it's like this multicolored beautiful mohair. I bought a skein of this. I think I bought 2 skeins of this as well, which I think is just a merino or just a wool. And then I bought a speckled yarn that ran out, and so I'm using one of the skeins of that Highland sock yarn because I got 5 obviously, so I just used this as a substitute for the other speckled yarn that I bought. And they were all like, so that was one of them. In the towny, I think that was a speckled one. And then I got the, yeah, I got 2 of the Carilli yarns. So that is that one. And then I don't know if I got 1 or 2 of these. I think I got 2 of these, but I honestly can't remember if I did or not. I think I did, because I think I remember winding it up twice. The mohair. So yeah, it's a super special jumper to me because I've never been to Italy, obviously, and knitting is one of my only hobbies, so I was like, I'm getting yarn, and I got hand-dyed yarn that I did search online, and it's like, I think this one is a little bit easier to get because I think it's Irish. Yeah, but these 3 are hand-dyed Italian yarns, and so it's a bit harder to get. So, and then obviously the Highland horse garns, you can't get it no more because it's out of stock. But I'm holding 3 of them together to obviously get an Aran weight. And I'm doing the second size. And all I have to do is finish the cuff of that sleeve and the second sleeve. And it's done. So this is also going to be in my Whipastrophe series because I really want this done. I wanted this done for winter, but obviously I put it off. But I can't wait to get it done for next winter, because the mohair in this feels so soft and so nice, and all the yarns together just feel so soft and so nice and so snuggly. And obviously it's a special memory of being in Italy. So yeah, I can't wait for it to be done. And I think like obviously the yarns as well have matched like so perfectly that it's just like I love it. So yeah, and then 2 whips that obviously I have but are not like main priority. I'm also filming a video on these, but this is like my summer wardrobe. That's what the video is. And is a pair of, these are a pair of boring knit wide straight pants in Drops Saffron in, I don't know what shade because I didn't look, but blue. These are, the waistband is knit in the second size, and then I increased after the waistband to get to the large, so small, but then that moved to a large because I wanted them super flowy for the summer. Yeah, they're not a main whip. I'm working on tiny bits here and there, but I want them done for like June, so that's why they're not really on the fast progress, but still some progress. And then also with the same as this, but I am starting this over, which is really sad because I've actually done quite a bit of it. But this is a toaster tee in the smallest size, but look how oversized it is. So this is Drops Isla. This is not Drops, Sublime Isla. It's a discontinued yarn. It's 50% cotton, 50% viscose, and it's discontinued. And it's so like silky smooth. And I've been knitting this on metal needles, and I just feel like it's made, even though I'm a loose knitter, I feel like it's made it too loose. So I am gonna rip this out, start it again on wooden needles, just to see if I can get my gauge a little bit better, because yeah, so that is another project. But also this is on the back burner as well. I do have some other projects like my sweater number 15, my zipper sweater, some other stuff, but I just like, it's not, I don't think I'm going to be working on them because I want to get these things done first, that I think I'll be making absolutely no progress on them. So yeah, one section I did want to include in my podcast is things I want to cast on in the next 2 months. And there's not going to be a lot ever, but I did want to include it because sometimes I do have things I want to cast on. So this month, what I want to cast on is, I self-drafted this top, obviously, but it was to make a dress in the long run. So I don't know which yarn to do it with yet, but I have 4 skeins of Drops Alpaca in Amethyst that I want to knit the dress version in. It's out of this yarn, or another yarn I'll show you in a sec. But basically with this dress, I don't want it to be very long. I want it to be mid-thigh level. Just because, yeah, I want it to be mid-thigh. I want it to be the same as this, just mid-thigh. So I think I could get it out of 4 skeins of Drops alpaca. But I do also have super soft in thistledown, which could also work, but I don't know. I do want to use up this alpaca because I have 4 skeins and I don't really know what to do with it otherwise. So I think I'm just going to do this, and I really want to knit a shawl in this, but that's not going to happen this month. But that dress is something I do want to cast on this month and get it done because I like knitting my own patterns. So yeah, I thought I'd just include that as something I do want to cast on this month. I don't know what yarn I'm going to pick, but I'll let you know once I pick it. And then I have acquisitions. Acquisitions over the 2 months aren't going to be very much. I try and buy yarn very scarcely. I don't buy a lot, but when I do, I buy it in bulk because, yeah. So I have bought quite a bit this month because I had a lot of projects that I had in mind, but I didn't have yarn in my stash for. So, oh, I have another thing as well that I do want to cast on this month. I'll go get it. Yes, so I have this yarn, which is like a super fluffy, like super bulky weight yarn. I'm trying to see if I can find a label. Okay, yeah, it's Sadar Temptations. It is a gentle chunky mohair blend, but I've got this black and this purple, and I have 2 skeins of each, and so I really want to knit pillowcases with them. So I bought, which will be in next month's, oh well, in 2 months podcast, because I bought a load of stuff on Amazon today, but obviously it isn't coming today. But I bought 2 like pillow inserts, and so I want to knit like just squares and sew them together because I don't really like doing colour work, and I want to knit pillowcases because it's really soft, and I don't think it's enough to be a sweater. It might be, but I don't know. I feel like it isn't enough, so I want to knit some pillowcases. So yeah, that's another thing I'm going to cast on because I think it'll just be really simple, really easy to make pillowcases, and it'll be done in the next 2 months. But yeah, that's another thing. Completely forgot, but yeah. Let me just put all these labels back. So I'll talk about acquisitions now, and I have quite a bit, but it will never usually be this big. Next podcast I already have some stuff because I bought some accessories on Amazon, but usually like yarn wise I choose to try and like keep it to a minimum. So because this year I'm all about getting stuff out of stash, which is why I'm knitting them pillowcases, because that yarn's been in my stash for ages and I know I don't want to jump her out of it, and I didn't know what else to make, so I was like, pillowcases. But yeah, so yarn 1, Drops Puna, which is obviously the yarn that I am knitting my Levitate Wrap in. This is in dark grey. It's 100% alpaca and it's a DK weight, and for 50 grams you get 110 meters. I bought 10 balls of this. This is the first time I've ever bought Drops Puna. Like, I'm a Drops fan and I think most of my yarn is Drops, but I'd never tried Puna before, didn't even know it was a yarn, but a site was having a sale, so I was like, I'll get some, and I'm enjoying it. I really love alpaca. I choose alpaca over mohair, like the brushed alpaca silk. I use just finger and weight alpaca quite a bit for tinier projects, So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise because I saw some people say it wasn't that soft, but I find it like really soft. So yeah, and I'm obviously using it for my Levitate wrap. And then I made a massive wool warehouse order because they're having a sale on their wool right now. So I bought Drops Charisma in the shade Beige Brown Mix. This is also a DK weight, and for 50 grams you get 100 meters. And it's 100% wool. It's a superwash treated wool classic, but I'm assuming it's not merino because it doesn't say. I bought 16 balls of this to knit the November jacket. And the reason I picked the November jacket is because I really wanted to try brioche, but I didn't want a cardigan like the Agneet, and the November jacket just spoke to me. So yeah, 16 balls of that in my stash, won't get casted on anytime soon, but they were having a sale, so I was like, might as well. I also bought some Drops Merino Extra Fine. I think I bought 10 balls of this, I think. In the shade Taupe, like my Sonia sweater, but I didn't even realise that they were the same. Like, I got it and I was like, I've seen this shade before, and then I realised my Sonia sweater. This is for an Eva cardigan by Petite Knit. I've really wanted an Eva cardigan for ages, and I just think this colour is really nice, obviously. So yeah, I bought 10 balls of that for that. I then bought 3 balls of Drops Baby Merino in light beige. I already had some of this in stash because I've obviously knit the step-by-step sweater in this, and so I bought 3 extra balls because I want to knit the Elizabeth blouse in it. And the Elizabeth blouse calls for a sport weight, and this is Drops. This yarn by Drops is a sport weight. So I had a bit of it in stash, but I bought a few extra skeins to make sure I had enough because I wanted it an Elizabeth blouse, because I really wanted a mauve tee, but I don't know how I'm feeling about mauve tee, so I think the Elizabeth blouse just looks a bit nicer. So yeah, and then I also bought a new set of needles because I was feeling like getting needles, and I got the Likke, I don't know how you pronounce it, Likke, the colours one in the grey case, the shorties, because I had metal needles. I am a Knit Pro girly, so I had their metal needles, I had their acrylic trends set, so like acrylic needles. I have their indigo blue like denim shorties. I have some of their Simophone, I don't know, but they're wooden Simophones, I don't know, but I have some of them in the shorties. But at the time of searching, I didn't see that they had a set of them, of the shorty ones. But I heard Likke is really good for wooden needles. I think they only do wooden needles. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna dive, because certain projects just need wooden needles. But I am using them for my Levitate Wrap and my Ripple Camisole, and I can say, like, these are really good wooden needles. I didn't expect them to be as good as they are, but I am loving them and I'm happy. And now I only need one more set in my life for me to be complete for needle sets. I want one more set of Chalgoos. because I have the red mini shorty set and I just want the blue one, and then I'm done for sets. Like, I have quite a few sets, but I think just certain projects require different things, and I feel like you're in the mood for certain needles and you're not. Well, at least that's what I find. Like, sometimes I'm in the mood for certain needles, sometimes I'm not. So yeah, and some of my needle sets I am planning to give away to my sister to teach her how to knit. I do want to teach her how to knit. But yeah, that is the final thing I bought. So yeah, this has been the first 2 months of the year. I'm actually really proud of my finished objects. I don't think I've ever had 4 finished objects in a month, and even though like they have been on my needles for time and they were mostly complete for ages and I just had to finish them, I'm still super proud. And I do want to get a lot of my whips off the needles, which is why I'm planning on doing like 2 to 3 whips off the needles every month. The Levitate Wrap was a brand new cast on, but the step by step and the ripple camisole was a brand new cast on, but I'm planning on getting the step by step and the Sonia done this over the next month or 2. So yeah, I'm just really proud of my knitting journey and how far I've come, because I've already finished 4 objects and it's only February. So yeah, and I'm starting to work on my own pattern, well, not patterns, but like my own creations, which I'm super proud about. And I can't wait to see what the next podcast entails, because I might have like a load of new projects done. But yeah, I will see you next time.